mathematicians. Today we're going to be looking at functions. A function is where each domain element is only paired with one range element. So every x has only one y. Right, so an x value cannot be repeating. You cannot have an x with multiple ranges, y's. So when I look at this first example, I'm going to list these points. This is the point -2, 8. Then this is what point? 0, 0. This is the point 2, 0. And this is the point 4, 1. I want to look at the x values. You can have no repeating x's. So, do I have any x values that repeat? No x values repeat, so yes, this is a function. Okay. A y value repeats, that's okay. I'm looking at the domain to make sure the domain or the x values don't repeat. Let's look at number 2. Which value do I want to look to see if it repeats? The x's. So if I look at the x's, do any of the x's repeat? Yes. I have a 2 and then another 2. So I have repeating x's. So is this a function? No. Okay. So look to see, do any of the x values repeat? Another way you can tell if it is a function is using the vertical line test. Right. So if a vertical line, and a vertical line is straight up and down, if you draw a straight up and down line and it hits the graph more than once, it is not a function. So here, if I were to draw a vertical line, it hits the graph once. I'm going to test just a couple different spots. So would this vertical line ever hit the graph more than once? No. So this is a function. Here, if I draw a vertical line, how many times did that hit? Once, twice. So is this a function? No, not a function. If I draw a vertical line here, hits once. Even if I draw it here, this point is not filled in, so it's not part of the graph. So it only hits once. Hits once. So is this a function? Yes. It can only hit the graph one time if I draw that. So for this example, we want to graph this. We'll make a table, plot some points, and use our vertical line test. Now I recommend that we make this y equals. Okay, so I'm going to move the y. So 2x equals 6 plus y. And how do I get rid of a 6? Minus 6. So 2x minus 6 equals y. I want to get that y over there. Now when I start plugging in values for x, it'll make it much easier. So I'm going to make a table. And let's pick some values for x. So 0, plug in 0. 2 times 0 minus 6 is -6. How about 1? 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 6, -4. How about 2? 2 times 2 minus 6. And then let's get a couple negatives in there. -1. -1 times 2 minus 6. So if I graph these, -0, -6, 1, -4, 2, -2, -1, -8. So I can see what's happening with the graph here. And our question is this a function? So if I have a vertical line, and I'll use my pencil to be a vertical line, and I move it, does it hit twice anywhere? No, it's only going to hit once. So is this a function? Yes, this is a function. It passes that vertical line test. So get the y by itself, or a variable by itself. Make a table, plug in some values for x, graph the points, and see if it passes the vertical line test. The last thing we're going to look at is some function notation. Now, we know that the equation y equals 3x minus 8. Function notation just swaps f of x. This reads f of x in place of that. So this is f of x equals 3x minus 8. So nothing too different, just a little bit of notation differences here. So when I'm given a function, f of x equals 2x plus 5, this means take -2 and plug it into the equation. All right. So I'm going to have 2x plus 5, but instead of x, I am going to put -2. 2 times -2, -4, plus 5 equals +1. So take that value, plug it in for all the x's, and solve. This next one means plug 1 in, whatever you get, add on 4. So my function was 2x plus 5. Instead of 2 times x, we will have 2 times 1 plus 5. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 5 is 7. And then what else am I missing? The plus 4. So add 4 on to our answer and we get 11. Plug this value into the equation, or into the function, and then add on 4. Go ahead and try this next one on your own. Let's see how you did. Alright, so I have 2x plus 5 again, but instead of 2 times x, you had 2 times 3. So I'm going to take the 3, plug it in, plus 5. 2 times 3, 6 plus 5 is 11. Take your value, plug it in for the x, and solve. Nice job today, mathematicians.